Yeah, greetings. Sorry to be so late again. It's after 1 o'clock, but you know how it is with the technology, you know. You want to give thanks and praise to the Most High, all right? I'm Jehovah God for the sustenance of life. Today we see the topic up there is going to be ovarian, cervical, breast, and uterine cancer, and that's the cancer that affects lots of women. Yeah. All right. We're going to teach you how to prevent it, because it's all about prevention. And if you can prevent these cancers in these areas, you can save your uterus, you can save the womb. All right, because I said on Mikey Hutchison's show the other day that the womb is the cradle of civilization. So women have to try to protect their reproductive system. All right. Before we even go to that topic, we're going to talk about the Bartholin cyst. Somebody wanted to know about that, so let me explain to you what it is. The Bartholin gland is two glands on the right and the left side of a woman's vagina, on the lips of it. And the purpose of this Bartholin gland is to produce or secrete mucus, liquid, a secretion to lubricate the woman's vagina. That is a natural form of lubrication. When a woman is having sexual intercourse also, and the same Bartholin gland also produces these secretions, all right, to keep a woman lubricated. Lots of time women get the cyst in that particular area because of an infection, number one. They could have STDs, could cause it to happen too, because there's this mucus in the Bartholin gland that builds up and causes it to have what you call a Bartholin cyst there. All right. If I'm correct. If I'm not correct, you try to correct me. But that is one of the main causes of Bartholin gland cyst, is because when that gland produces lots of these secretion and they start to form mucus again, because you didn't born with that. You didn't born with a cyst in the Bartholin glands. These glands start to secrete these liquids to lubricate the vagina. If there is a lot of mucus because of an infection, or also because of STDs, a woman can get that particular condition, and we could fix it by using tea tree oil. We can use, a woman can use frankincense oil, golden seal powder mixed with donkey coke powder to move the blood, and some podiaco in the powder form. And that can be used with some uterine tonics, and that will help to get rid of the Bartholin cyst, or Bartholin gland cyst as they call it in the medical system. All right, and then you have to try to avoid lots of mucus forming food that can get into that area and cause it to have this cyst there. Okay, all right, that's how we fix it. Some doctors they burn it out, but sometimes if you burn it out, the gland don't work, you don't secrete, and you don't have what you call vaginal dryness. All right. Next thing we want to talk about again is somebody asked about endometriosis. Endometriosis is a condition, I think I touched on that on Mikey Hutchison's show the other day. It's a very difficult condition to fix on the reproductive system in a woman, because it destroys the reproductive system. My niece had to remove her uterus because of that. And it makes you very constipated because it causes scars on the colon walls. And when the scars are formed there, you can't go to the bathroom, you get constipated, and you have a lot of period pain. Some women have or get period pain before the period when they have endometriosis, or they get lots of pain after the period or during the period, and the pain is very excruciating. All right. Endometriosis is from estrogen dominance. I think Dr. Batch was trying to educate doctors on what is the cause of that particular condition. That's when you have a woman having a period and the blood leave the uterus and get into the pelvic cavity and get into the tissues and cause these balls to form and cause a lot of pain because of blood stagnation. All right. You can repair endometriosis if the tissues and the colon walls are not damaged, because as I said before, you can damage the colon walls with scar tissues from that particular condition and get constipation. Once you're constipated, even worse, because once you have constipation, you will have what we call recycling estrogen back and back into the portal vessel, and then your endometriosis will be worse than ever. Okay, so try to prevent endometriosis by eating the right foods. A plant-based diet is the best diet to to prevent these conditions. A plant-based diet. That is the key, all right, to prevent endometriosis. It's a long process of repairing that particular condition, but it can be repaired once the woman changes her diet and have discipline to eat the right foods. Bottom line, all right? Thirdly, we were talking about vitamins the other day and minerals, and we're going to talk about ovarian cancer. And a lot of the times, lots of companies make vitamins, and the vitamins they make have lots of talc and talcum, which is one of the culprits of ovarian cancer. Also in the ironing board. When the ironing board comes with these covers, they have lots of talc. Some pots and pans covers have it too. And those chemicals are detrimental to a woman's ovaries. So usually when you buy a vitamin, if you look in the back of the vitamin, you're going to see all the minerals and the vitamin content. And some companies might put herbs in there. But if you look at the bottom of the vitamin bottle, you're going to see it says, let me see if I can find one for you. See here. Right, look over here. You're going to see it says other ingredients in the bottom. See, other ingredients. So you're looking at the vitamins, minerals content up here, but in the bottom the companies have what they call it other ingredients in the bottom there. You have to look for that. Now in the bottom of the other ingredients, some companies have talc and they have talcum, and the reason for that, and some of them have what we call titanium, and some of them have what we call aluminum in their products also. And we know that these products these chemicals are detrimental to our health. Now when a woman buys a vitamin and they have all these talc in there, it could cause the woman to have troubles in the ovaries, the cervix, and in the tubes, because sometimes the talc block the tubes up, all right? And that is one of the main causes of ovarian cancer too. So what you have to do, you can tell if your vitamins is not real, because lots of vitamin companies sell garbage stuff to us. You have to take the vitamin, right, and you got to put it in a glass of water. See down there. Now, once you see the vitamins start to bubble, the water start bubbling, you know that vitamin is not real. It have fillers, it have talc, it have talcum, and all these chemicals that these vitamin companies put in these vitamins that to cause you to have all these troubles. Yeah? Right, now, next one again. Put this one inside again. See? See that? Now, look at the one on the left and look at the one on the right. The one on the right is plant-based, and the one on the left have talcum. You see the difference? See? You see the one on the left is bubbling up the water in there? See? That's fillers they have inside there. That's how you all could know that you all have to buy the right vitamins. That's very significant. So the one on the right over here, which is down here, this one right there, this one is from plant source. So you have to try to buy your vitamins from plant-based plant sources. Now the other one, they're full of fillers. Now the reason why they put talc and talcum in your vitamins and minerals is because they try to prevent them from sticking together. See? So when you buy a B complex, like this here, this one right here, the B complex is supposed to be yellow, but if it's not full of fillers and benzene and hexene, it's going to change the color like this one over here. Change its color. See? So you know it's real and it sticks together. So once it sticks together, it's telling you that there's no talc and there's no talcum in your vitamin. That's the key. You have to do your own research and you have to do your own experimentation with your vitamins to know if you're taking the real vitamins or you're popping things that is causing harm to your organ system. Okay? Alright? So you see the way? Look at that. Look at the white one. See? That have talc. That have talcum. See, it disintegrates like that. See, the other one stays solid? That's plant source. So that's how you know. Alright? Each one teach one. Wonderful. See it crumble up? That's telling you that that vitamin here, over here, is full of talcum, full of benzene, full of titanium, and full of hexene, and fillers, and binders. Look at right there. That will tell you. Alright. Wonderful. And that's the reason why you have to research your companies and make sure that the companies that you're buying your stuffs from is selling you the right stuff. You know, but lots of people buy these cheap vitamins out there, and once they're cheap like that, that happens to them. And then eventually you pop them, not popping none of the vitamins that's in the bottle or the powder, not knowing that they put a lot of fillers, aluminum, talc and talcum in there, which is detrimental to a woman's ovaries. Wonderful. So you know now the difference. All right. Come over here. Let's go to breast cancer now. All right. Now, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, and uterine cancer. That is what is killing lots of women. All right. Now we're going to talk about breast cancer because we have a video on breast cancer already, but there is so much to learn about breast cancer that 10 minutes alone cannot, go into the deep, profound knowledge of breast cancer. So we're going to take a little 15 minutes, but we're going to try to go as fast as we can so you can understand and try to learn how to prevent cancers in your reproductive system. Because especially African women, black women, they're full of fibroids. They're full of ovarian cysts. Our brothers from African brothers are full of prostate cancer, more than any other race. How come? Now the BRCA2 gene is more prevalent in women from Israel instead of the BRCA1. We're going to talk about that. Now, look at breast cancer. We're going to come across here now to go to breast cancer now. All right? Breast cancer causes, lots of things that cause breast cancer. And one of the causes of breast cancer is a woman's bra strap. Your bra strap, when you have your bra on and the bra is very tight, you understand, it stops circulation to the breast, and it hampers the lymphatic system and cause a woman to develop breast cancer. As I said, breast cancer takes 10 years to develop. It don't develop in 1 and 2 years. It takes a long time to develop. And that is the reason why you have to take care of your breast, and you must take care of the lymphatic system to prevent breast cancer if it's hormonal. So that's the first cause of breast cancer. Bra strap causes it. A dense breast too, fatty breast. Women who's overweight and have fatty, dense breasts, they're more prone to getting breast cancer. A woman who have a period at an early age also is more prone to getting breast cancer than a woman who had a period at 13 and 14 years old. Do the research. It's there. That's a fact. You understand? Women who don't have children is more prone to getting breast cancer also. Estrogen dominance, beside the BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene, is the main cause of breast cancer. It's what we call a hormonal cancer, because man is putting lots of chemicals in the foods and antibiotics and hormones, and causing a woman's hormonal level to escalate in terms of the estrogen and keeping the progesterone very low, and causing you to be at risk of getting not only breast cancer, but uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, and also cervical cancer, which is caused by talc and talcum also, not the HPV as they want to make you all believe. HPV alone don't cause you to have cervical cancer. Talc and talcum cause cervical cancer too. All right? Man-made stuff. A congested colon, again, when the bowel is congested, where lots of women have or suffering from constipation, and once you're constipated, common sense won't tell anyone that you have what we call recycling estrogen flowing back into the portal vessel and causing the body to retain that amount of estrogen, which is man-made, and once it come back or flow back into your system, you are prone to getting breast cancer because it steals the combination lock to your receptors. Bottom line. So you cannot be constipated if you want to prevent colon cancer, liver cancer, breast cancer, and any form of cancer, because a congested colon is one of the main causes of colon cancer, uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, PCOS, uterine cancer, and breast cancer. Right? Next one, the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 gene. And I call it the BRCA junk gene and the BRCA junk gene. And lots of women, when they find out they have the BRCA1 gene, the doctors are lying to you all and making you all feel that you're going to get breast cancer because you all have the BRCA1 gene. It's a protein that helps to do what? Work with the immune system to get rid of what we call tumors. But the BRCA1 gene, if it's a junk gene, if your mother have it and you have it, it does not mean that you're going to get breast cancer. If you eat the same way your mother been eating, and you have the BRCA1 gene, you're going to get breast cancer long term. I call it the BRCA1 junk gene. So if you're eating junk food and you have the BRCA1 gene, it's a possibility that you are going to get breast cancer. All right? There are many causes of breast cancer, and that is why cleansing your body is significant, and keeping your pH at a level of 7.45 is very significant, and keeping your liver and the lymphatic system healthy and removing excessive amount of estrogen from the body, and also reducing your fat intake. Alcohol also causes breast cancer. Lots of women now is taking over from men drinking lots of alcohol. My sister, who died about 15 years ago from breast cancer, was an alcoholic. And the alcohol gave her cancer because there's a chemical in the alcohol that contributes to women getting breast cancer. Rum, Clark's Court, Rivers, all of them, whiskey, they contribute to you getting breast cancer as a woman long term. So alcohol do cause breast cancer also. All right? Plus the BRCA1, BRCA2 genes. And the BRCA2 gene is more prevalent in women who from Jewish descent. All right, Jewish women. Now let's look at environmental factors now. Go to that. Let's look at environmental factors that cause a woman to get breast cancer too. PCB, pesticide like hydrocarbonate, pesticide hydrocarbon or PCB in the food chain. They're killing you all breasts. And a lot of women don't clean the body out. Lots of women have bad liver health. Lots of women is constipated. So if you have a high level of PCB, a pesticide hydrocarbon in your system, plus you have lots of DDE, and you have the DDT, which collaborate with estradiol. Follow me now. If you have DDT in your system, it is a precursor to breast cancer, but when the same DDT collaborate with estradiol, which is a hormone, estrogen hormone, it goes and it affects the receptors and causes you to get breast cancer faster. Do the research. The research is there. People don't do research and we don't read a lot. You understand? We have to do research. The ketone, dieldrio, ketone, dieldrio, bisphenol, estrogen, mimic chemicals that cause you to have these troubles. This one here and this one here. They mimic estrogen. And once they mimic estrogen, they fool your receptors. Do the research. These here. 1, 2. They're mimicking chemicals. Bisphenol also. Bisphenol A. Check them out. They are what we call mimicking chemicals that cause a woman's receptors to create an alarming rate of her cells and cause her to get breast cancer. Bottom line. And none of these chemicals here was made by the Most High. None of them. All of them chemicals here was created by man. So man is your biggest enemy. Don't blame God. You have to blame man. Everybody want to blame God for all the things happening in the world today. Don't blame him. He gave us a diet in the beginning. All right? Let's go to this one over here now. Nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plant. If you are living next to a nuclear power plant, you are prone to getting breast cancer also, because guess what? The nuclear power plant releases what? Fission products in your foods. And it causes the radiation to either flow into the atmosphere, and what happens when these fission products in your foods with radiation in the air start to escalate in your neighborhood, guess what happens? It causes mutation of the P53 suppressor gene. Look at the P53 suppressor gene. Radiation from nuclear plants and some x-rays and from some mammograms also cause your cells to mutate, especially mutation of the P53 suppressor gene. I ain't no scientist, but I know that. You understand? I'm not a big scientist like all Robert Gallo and these guys who killing us daily, but I understand the principle of the body, how the body works, and how the cells work. I study them because God gave me wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Mammograms also is a culprit that can cause you to get breast cancer, because mammograms release what? Radiation, alcohol, lack of sunlight, especially women who live in America and in Europe. When you are lacking in sunlight, you all get vitamin D, and vitamin D is a protector of the breast. So if you're lacking in sunlight and you're not absorbing lots of vitamin D, you are more prone to getting breast cancer also. Do the research. Lack of exercise. Lots of women don't exercise. They're lazy. And I know you all live in this fast life in America, but at the end of the day, the fast life will kill you faster. You have to exercise, because when you exercise, you sweat and you work on the lymphatic system, and you keep on moving the lymphatic system, vessels and fluids flowing parallel to the blood, and you also get rid of excessive amount of fat when you exercise. So that is also one of the causes of breast cancer, because if you're lacking of exercise, you're going to gain weight, you're going to get a fatty breast, and then you're going to be prone to get breast cancer. Fibrocystic breast disease. A lot of women who have estrogen dominance, meaning that the estrogen level is very high, they get fibrocystic breast. And the fibrocystic breast long term can also lead to breast cancer, because a lot of the doctors, they keep cutting your breast up, they take all these lumps in your breast. And why the lumps in your breast? Because your lymphatic system is stagnated, and once your lymph nodes are stagnated, you're going to get lumps in your breast, you're going to get fibrocystic breast disease. So you have to keep the lymphatic system healthy, and you have to keep the fluids flowing, and there are herbs that you can use to drain your lymphatic system. Lots of women do not know that having a hypothyroid, not hypothyroid can lead to breast cancer, because it affects the endocrine system, and sometimes the hypothyroid is not coming from the thyroid itself, it is coming from another part of the endocrine glands that can cause a woman to get breast cancer, because there's lots of what we call symptoms like constipation and infertility that comes with a hypothyroid problem. And once you're hypothyroid, you are prone to getting breast cancer faster. Surgery. Women go and remove the breast. But the doctor don't tell you when you remove your breast, the inflammation starts. And once inflammation starts, when you do the surgery, what happens to you? Your cells become more vulnerable. It's a common sense thing. Because once you remove the breast during surgery, you become inflamed, and then your cells start scattering, and then you don't have good healing, and all of a sudden your cancer will start to spread. So surgery again should be second thought in your mind. Don't forget that. And before you go take off your breast in terms of surgery, have a second opinion from another doctor who is open-minded and ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you won't get answers. If you ask your doctor a question and he don't want to answer you, you find yourself another doctor. Bottom line, he ain't right for you. If you can't sit down and answer all your questions, you will find yourself another goddamn doctor. Bottom line, over here. Let's look at the risk of radiation and what radiation does to you. X-rays, CT scans, mammograms, radiation therapy. It suppresses your sweat glands. That's the risk of taking radiation. So you run and take the radiation for breast cancer. No, the radiation will help the breast cancer to prevent the cancer from going back into the breast. Yes. But guys, look at what it does. It suppresses your sweat glands. It weakens your immune system. It causes secondary cancers. It causes sarcoma cancers too. It causes leukemia. That's what the radiation causes. So when they give you chemotherapy and they give you radiation, they're setting you up because they don't tell you. All they said to you is, once you take radiation, the cancer is not supposed to come back in your breast. But they don't tell you that the same radiation that they tell you or they give you to prevent the cancer from coming back into your breast, it suppresses your sweat glands. So if it suppresses your sweat glands, how are you going to sweat? And sweating is one of the 8 methods of therapy. It weakens your immune system, causing what? Secondary cancers. Like what? Sarcomas, leukemias. And it causes additional breast cancer in the next breast. Because they feel that radiation, surgery, and chemotherapy is your best choice. But you can do radiation and you can do your chemotherapy, but you have to have a good nutritional diet to survive these toxic treatments. Now, let's talk about how to prevent yourself from getting fibrocystic breast disease. In order for you to protect yourself as a woman from getting fibrocystic breast disease, you have to take a lot of choline. Number 1, you must take vitamin E. Number 2, because once you have fibrocystic breast, some of the doctors, they know, they're very wise, they give you vitamin E. You must have that. So in order for you as a woman to prevent fibrocystic breast disease, lumps in your breast, that is, you must take choline. You must take vitamin E. You must take the B6 vitamin. You must take bromelain to prevent inflammation. You must take a probiotic, 40 billion per day. You must take your seaweeds. Must. Sea moss, dulse, suma, kelp, bladderwrack. You must take them. All the seaweeds. And you must implement potassium iodine from where? From sea moss in your diet. From the sea moss. Because sea moss have lots of potassium iodine. And in order for you to prevent your breast from becoming fibrocystic, you must implement seaweeds in your diet. Sea moss especially, because they have lots of potassium iodine. And once you start taking these things here, you can never get lumps in your breast. You will never get fibrocystic breast disease. Never, ever, ever. Primrose oil. Evening primrose oil is significant to prevent fibrocystic breast disease in a woman. And you must take lymphatic herbs. Let me name them for you. Call ambrosia. And when you call ambrosia, you call 718-469-0985. And you tell ambrosia, the guy is there, Mr. Dell say I need some lymphatic herbs because I am suffering. I want to prevent fibrocystic breast disease. Tell them you want burdock root, BURDOCKROOT. Tell them you want violet leaves, VIOLETLEAVES. Tell them you want echinacea, ECHINACEA. Tell them you want red clover, REDCLOVER. Tell them you want cleavers, CLEAVERS. And tell them you want another herb called figwort, FIGWORT, because figwort is one of the main herbs to prevent your lymph system from what? Growing lumps under your arm and in your groin. These are the herbs you have to use to prevent fibrocystic breast disease. And if you have it, you have to lower your estrogen levels. And if you have PCOS, these herbs that I just mentioned will also help to get rid of your PCOS because they help the vessels and the fluids to become thin so they can flow better and nothing cannot form. Because you have stagnation of the lymph system, you get fibrocystic breast disease. Let's look at preventing breast cancer from coming back. Preventing breast cancer from coming back. Because they give women a 5-year survival rate. Meaning that when they give you the 5-year survival rate, what will they give you? Look at this over here. Punch over here. They give you tamoxifen. There's a new one here, come out to this one here. It works just as tamoxifen does. No big difference. They give you tamoxifen. They give you raloxifene. They give you danazol. Or they give you Megace. That's what they give you when you remove your breast. Because, as I said, tamoxifen, for 5 years, bind with estrogen to prevent it from getting into your receptors. But cherries does that. Black grapes does it. Huh? All the green leafy things are the same thing with all the side effects. And then long term of using this one and this one, they give you what? They give you uterine cancer. And that's the reason why you cannot take it for more than 5 years. Eh? This one here make you talk deep like a man. What's going on now? Yeah. You understand? Once you take in this one, your voice become deep. And this have a lot of side effects to this, all of them. They're full of side effects. Some of them increase the sex drive of the woman too. And make you have voice as a man. Those are not your best choice in terms of getting rid of cancer long term. They only give you a survival rate of 5 years. And after 5 years, your cancer come back. Because you only had a 5-year survival rate. A 5-year survival rate does not mean that your cancer will go away. You only survive for 5 years. That's what they're telling you. So they're telling you in essence is that, we don't have no cure for cancer, but we could give you a 5-year survival rate. You can live for 5 years, and after 5 years, you're going to die. Because after 5 years, you must come off the tamoxifen. After 5 years, you must come off the raloxifene. Because they have side effects. Right? So let's look at how you can, after the tamoxifen treatment, after 5 years, let us look at how you can prevent the cancer from coming back in your breast. Let us look at how you can prevent breast cancer from coming back into your breast or into your lymph nodes or into your lungs. Holy immune must take that. Holy immune must take that. Have to have that in your house once you have breast cancer. It is made by an oncologist, a same cancer specialist, Dr. Jeffrey Downs. But he's a very wise doctor because he put lots of minerals and he helped with what we call liver detoxification. And good liver health is important to preventing cancer from coming back. You must have good liver health. Because if you don't have good liver detoxification and you cannot remove the excessive amount of toxins or estrogen, your cancer will come back. So these are the things you have to do to prevent your breast cancer, your uterine cancer, your ovarian cancer from coming back. Huh? IP6. There's a product called Breast Basics. I promote it because it helps to keep the breast healthy. And it also helps to prevent cancer from coming back into the breast. Natural stuff, not tamoxifen, not raloxifene. Breast Basics. CQ or CoQ10 is very significant in preventing the cancer from coming back into your breast. They don't tell you that, because all they feed you is tamoxifen. Fluorescence. Look it up. It helps to drain the lymphatic system, but it also helps to repair cancer, but it also helps to prevent the cancer from coming back. Buffered vitamin C. Buffered vitamin C in the powder form, 10,000 milligrams per day, will prevent your cancer from coming back. And cellular activation. Activating your cells by using what? Chaga, C-A-G, maitake, shiitake, cordyceps. On a cellular level, they activate the cells. They increase your NK cells. They increase the immune reservoir so that you could help your white blood cells to fight them cancer boy cells so that they don't come back, because that is why God created us to what? To kill off them guys. The body is made like a machine to kill these cancer cells. The only reason why you're not killing the cancer cells is because you are malnourished. You're suffering from malnutrition. And because you're eating 3 meals per day, you think you're nourished. You're not nourished. You're eating dead atoms. So you're not nourished. And that's the reason why you can't fix cancers. Because cancer is an immune disease from diet. Cancer is an immune disease from diet, from bad diet. Alright, let's go to liver herbs now. To prevent the cancer from coming back, you have to go and work on your liver. You must do that. You have to work on your digestive system, which is the earth. You must do that. You have to work on your colon, your large bowel. You must do that. You have to keep them clean. You have to keep them moving toxins out, so that cancer don't come back and develop it, because once you get cancer the first time, you will get it back again. Bottom line. You must take lymphatic herbs. You must take activated quercetin. From what? All of them who say that garlic is no good, you must get it from garlic and onion, because that's where you find them. Quercetin, garlic and onions, lots of it, raw, or slightly steamed, like slightly cooked. Activated quercetin to prevent cancer from coming back. Your enemas once per week. You should do enemas once per week, and every 6 weeks you put away 3 to 4 days to fast and keep the organs clean, keep them in balance, and you can never get cancer back again. Can't come back, because the body is so clean, and cancer can never live in a clean system. It lives in a system that's full of toxins. Bottom line, alpha lipoic acid, very significant in preventing cancer from coming back, and also helping the pancreas and diabetes. MCP, modified citrus pectin, and green juices to alkaline the blood and keep the cells functioning better. That's what you have to do to prevent your cancer from coming back. But your doctor says to you, go back. He says, go back. You ask him, doc, what can I eat? He says, you can eat anything. You said, yes. He said, yes. You go back, he says, and eat your own foods. So you don't know better, because you're not educated and you don't have no knowledge of nutritional foods to eat. So you go back eating the same foods that caused you to get the cancer, and the cancer come back. Now I'm telling you, I'm teaching you how to prevent it from coming back. Don't let it come back in your breast. Don't let it come back in your ovaries. Don't let it come back in the cervix. Don't let it come back in the uterus. Let's go to ovarian cancer now. Ovarian cancer. Let's look at the causes of ovarian cancer. The causes of ovarian cancer first is them fertility drugs. And lots of women who can't get pregnant, they run to these vampires and want to have babies. So they give you all fertility drugs. But they don't tell you, as a woman, that the fertility drugs that they give you to have children or cause you to get pregnant cause ovarian cancer, cell division, especially this drug here. See this drug here? See there? CLOMIPHENE. Clomiphene is one of the biggest culprits of uterine ovarian cancer in women. This one right here. Let them sue me. It's a fact. Reality. Studies. Proof. Ovulation stimulation. When a woman is pregnant, she don't have ovulation stimulation. But once the ovaries start to be stimulated prematurely and cells start to divide, it puts a woman at a higher risk of getting ovarian cancer. And next cause of ovarian cancer is estrogen dominance. Too much estrogen in your diet. Man-made estrogen, that is. Genetic mistakes again with the period, when a woman had to have a period, and you know that your ovaries produces progesterone, and there is the mistakes of the cells being divided. There is a mistake in the process of the division of the cells, and cause a woman to have ovarian cancer also. Dairy products cause or contributes to women having ovarian cancer. Dairy products. Hygiene sprays that you all spray in your vagina on your panty. All the spraying all the hygienic sprays to make all your panties smell sweet. But they are culprits also. Look at hygiene sprays. They are also culprits of women coming down with ovarian cancer. Fatty foods. Talc and talcum that they put in your vitamins and minerals. See that there? See it? See there? That's what they put in your own stuff. Talc and talcum. And then they get into the ovaries. And you have a 2.5-fold or 5-fold of getting ovarian cancer. And when you put all your powder on too, when you put all your powder on your belly, or you put it on your vagina, all the powder in here, are you getting ovarian cancer too? Yeah? Yeah? All these are things that cause ovarian cancer. Uterine cancer, again. Cervical cancer. Now, there are studies that they did, and they found that women had a high level of talc and talcum in the ovaries. Lots of women who died from ovarian cancer, they found that they had lots of talcum in the ovaries and in the cervix and in the tubes, in the woman tubes, that cause not only fertility, but cause you as a woman to get ovarian cancer. So, did God give you ovarian cancer? He made you perfect. He didn't give you nothing. The man who is running the world, he's the one that put these things in your foods, in the air, in your ironing board, in your vitamins, and contribute to you as a woman coming down with these cancers in the reproductive system. He does it. So, you take your Johnson baby powder, and you powder, your powder all over. You take it, you put it in your vagina. When the man smells sweet, you put your powder there. Yeah, man. That's what you let's do. I know what you all let's do. Yeah? It banned from my house. Can't come into my house no more. Put a powder on your vagina, but you're not knowing because you're ignorant of the fact that once you put in a powder in your vagina, on your chest, you are absorbing talc and talcum. And it get into your ovaries and cause you to get ovarian cancer long term. Yeah? One cause. Your IUDs, what you do? You take your IUD, the IUD just push up in your vagina to prevent pregnancy. A lot of women have it. They take it out, they take the powder, and they spray it on it to clean it. Put the powder on your IUD. Yeah. But the powder you put it on your IUD, and then you're going to put your IUD back in your vagina, it goes into the ovaries and the cervix and in the where? the uterus and cause you as a woman to get ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer, because cervical cancer is not only caused by the HPV virus, it is caused by talc and talcum. Huh? You go to the doctor take his gloves, put it in his hands, push it up in your vagina, yeah, push it up, huh? But you didn't know that the gloves that he was pushing in your vagina was full of talc and talcum too. So every month you go to the doctor, get your checkup, and you keep on pushing that glove inside your vagina. You start to absorb talcum from the gloves. And long term, you start to get ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer. Not only the HPV that causes it now. You meet a man, when I know you for long, you want to have sex with me, you got to use a condom. That's all good. Yeah. Condom is bust though, ain't it? But the condom that is tested, mostly all of them, 95% of them have what? Talc and talcum. So you're having sex with your condom, that's all good. Because I want to protect on AIDS, on HIV, not knowing that 97% of HIV was not from sex. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that, did you? Get a book, Deadly Deception, Dr. Willard. You're going to see the statistics proving that 97% of HIV was not from sex. So you having sex with a condom? But the condom that is going inside you as a woman have talc and talcum. And Jehovah God never created a condom. He didn't create that. So everybody want to blame him for all the negative that happened on the earth. But they want the person who they're supposed to blame, they ain't blaming them. They want to blame God and say God is a wicked God because he has his wars in the Old Testament. All these things he's doing. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Who created wars? God and man. Who created jealousy? Who created hate? Huh? God. So don't blame God. Blame the people who you have with a jacket and tie in power and trying to rule the world. People like us who we put in power and say to them, go in power and raise our taxes, keep us living in poverty. That's what we tell them. And then they do all these things to us. That's negative, and then you come and say, God is the culprit. Man. Oh man. Shut over here, man. I'd sit over there, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They said God is the culprit. They say God is the culprit. Alright, now, okay, we gotta go. For our retreat in April 2017, April 28th and May 12th, you could call a number. The number is 473-534-0209 to get all the information that you need about the retreat, because lots of people are calling and they're just texting me. So call this number, 473-143-534-0209, and we'll give you all the information about the retreat, how much it's going to cost, and then we're going to go from there and tell you what the retreat is all about. We have programs for the 12 days that you can learn how to cook, how to eat raw foods. And when you go back to where you came from, you will learn to eat the food the right way and stay well, and you could teach somebody else, because each one teach one, yeah? Alright? And we're going to be having some help soon to answer a lot of messages, because I can't answer it all by myself. So we're having some help to help me to answer all the people who haven't been answered yet. We are trying our best to build up that clientele to help to answer your questions, okay? Alright? Now I hope that you all got good information. Did you all get good information? Push the button now. If you all got it. You pushing it? Huh? Push the button if you all got good information. Now them vampires don't give you all. Huh? You all got good information. Keep it in the head. And keep it in your heart. And feed it to your children. And feed it to your mother. And your aunt and your uncle and your father. And let them know that they can change their life by what? Eating the right food and eating a plant-based diet. The diet that God gave us in the beginning was a plant-based diet. An alkaline diet. And once you keep that diet and you clean your system regularly, I don't see how you will get ovarian, cervical, uterine, or breast cancer. Never, ever. So until, give thanks and praise to the Most High.
You could repeat the number one more time for them.
1473-534-0209. That's the number for the retreat. Alright? Or you could get in contact with Rafika Soros, 1631-399-0149. Yeah? And we're going to have all the seminars we having for the 12 days. It's going to be back on. It's going to be up on Facebook and on the website, and you could see what the program is going to be like. You're going to be impressed what we're going to have. All right, to teach you to keep yourself well and healthy and prevent cancers. Yeah.
Yes. The number for the store where they can get the herbs and everything.
The number for Ambrosia is 718-469-0985. 718-469-0985. And you can ask for Ashanti or Trisha. They ship all over the world. And we have to support our community and make our community become just like the others. While ours living in poverty, we have to build up our brothers and sisters by supporting them. Don't forget that. That is one of the problems we have in the black community. Because we were brainwashed to believe that we are nothing but we are the mightiest on the earth. And now we have to learn to support our brothers and our sisters so we can build up our community. We don't have abandoned buildings in there no more. Just like the others. That's what I want to see. We start to love each other and support each other and build up one another because we are the mighty people. Blessed Lord.
Somebody wants to know before you go, tyrosine. Where they getting tyrosine?
Ambrosia have tyrosine. Ambrosia have Holy Immune. Ambrosia have vitamin C buffer. All of them have. Ambrosia have all of them. Yeah? And those are what we call mega products. They work for you. They don't just have fillers. They work for you. They work for you. You have to buy good products. Don't buy the garbage stuff because it won't get you sick. Buy good stuff. Spend your money and get good stuff, and they're going to last, and they are bioavailable to your body. Bottom line. All right?
One more thing before you go. You could give the people, there was a few people asking what they should eat. So maybe you could just give them a basic run through of what a daily diet should be like.
Well, you see, that's a tricky question because what a daily diet should be like. You know, if you live in a hot climate, that's different. If you live in a cold climate, that's different. So you have to know where you're living. If you're living in say, Miami, or you're living in Grenada, you're living in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean countries, it's very hot. So we look at, they have a high starch diet in the Caribbean, which is the wrong way. You know what I mean? Well, they should have a lot of, in the hot climates, and let me say again, you have to eat the foods that correspond to your bloodstream. So you have to eat the food in your environment. That's important. If you start to eat the next man's food, you're going to get the next man's disease. It's common sense. So you have to eat the food that you grow and grow the food that you eat. That's common sense, the bottom line. But if you're living in a hot climate, you have to never eat fruits in the morning in a hot climate. Never do that. Because the morning is cool. Now around this time, see I'm sweating now? It's be hot. So now I can eat some fruits because I could burn the sugar up a little faster. So if you're living in a hot climate, fruits should be eaten between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. in order to keep the pancreas well. Alright? Because the pancreas works between that time, between 11 and 5. After 6, the pancreas is going on to regenerate. Right? In the morning again, in the afternoon around this time again, is when you eat your complex carbohydrates, not the refined and the processed ones. You understand? Because they're sugars again. And you have to burn them up. See? As sugars. In the hot climate, between the hours of 10 and 5 is when you should eat your fats, your good fats. And too much good fats is not good for you either. A handful of nuts per day is good for you. That's all the fats you need, especially when you pass the age of 40. See? You don't need all the fats for your cell membranes. Eh? So fats and carbs and fruits should be eaten between the hours of 10 a.m. in the morning and 5 p.m. in the afternoon if you are living in a hot climate. If you are living in a hot climate, your diet should be what? 80% alkaline foods, which is green leafy things, 60% legumes, peas and beans, 20% of your diet should be protein and fruits, 20%. Huh? And 5% of your diet should be carbohydrates. 5%. That's all. 5%. And then you have to eat the proteins in the morning if you're living in a hot climate, because protein takes long to digest. They are building foods, but they are also toxemia foods. Because of the length of time they take to move from one place to the next, they cause toxins to develop. So you have to eat them in the morning, so in the afternoon, they're gone. You can't be eating proteins at night and expect to live right. Never ever. Because you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you eat a heavy protein meal at 7 o'clock, and protein takes 12 hours, fish takes 12 hours to digest, beef takes 18 hours, chicken takes 7 hours. So if you eat a beef meal or a fish dinner at 7 o'clock and you go to bed at 10 o'clock, common sense. 3 hours. You go sleep in your bed. Your body will never heal while you have food in your belly. Never in the earth. Can't. They can't work. Because you are trying to work your digestive system when you're sleeping. When you're supposed to be healing. Because that's when the healing takes place. When you're sleeping, not when you're awake. So you have to learn how to use the foods to not create a traffic jam in your stomach to your intestines. And once you don't create a traffic jam, you will have better health. But be too greedy. We want to eat 3 and 4 times per day. We want to eat late at night. We want to eat dessert. You eat a dessert you later on. You don't eat dessert. It desserts you. Because you can never eat a protein meal and want to eat a fruit. It can't happen. They're not compatible together. So if you eat a protein meal, and you want to go and eat some ice cream as a dessert after your protein meal, you're crazy. You're going to get sick eventually long term. It's a common sense thing. You're going to get acid in the stomach. You're going to get reflux. You're going to get indigestion. You're going to get heartburn. Because once you eat a protein meal, you're not supposed to eat a fruit after a protein meal. You're not supposed to eat ice cream after a protein meal. You're supposed to have them combined together. And that is the reason why you are getting sick. Because you do not know how to use the foods and you do not know how to combine them together so that it can move quick and get you to have fast transit time. That's the key. So the BioLife program is significant, but it's tough for me to just send to everybody. So we're trying to get the BioLife program on the page so that you can download it and it will teach you how to eat the meals. Yeah?
The cold climate?
The cold climate, 5% of your diet in a cold climate like America and in Europe, 5% of your diet should be fruits, not 20%, 5% because you're living in a cold climate, in the cold. And if you're eating fruits in the cold, you don't burn it up. It's common sense. You're going to retain sugars. And although they are natural sugars, if you don't burn them as fuel, you will start to store them. And then you could get diabetes also. And you could get weight gain. So in the winter time, more protein food should be eaten because they cushion your joint. That's why in Alaska, there are all these Indian people eat a lot of fish. See what I'm saying? Because they cushion their joints. They don't get heart disease though. They eat a lot of fish. So they cushion the joints. So proteins and vegetables should be more taken in the winter time, whereby fruits should only be 5% of your diet in the winter, and carbohydrates. See what I'm saying? And your proteins again should be eaten in the morning time, in the winter time, not in the night time. Never eat proteins at night. You're crazy. You won't live long. You won't get sick eventually. You're going to have eye troubles because they kill your liver. You see what I'm saying to you? So you have to learn how to use the foods. And if you're going to eat at night, have things that move quick, liquids, to move it faster to the system. and then you live a little longer. Okay, definitely. Yeah, wonderful. That's it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's it.
What would you recommend them not to eat during the daily course of their life?
Not to eat? Pork, barbecue, fried foods, fried fish, fried chicken, fried this, fried plantain. They're bad for your heart. And you're using the wrong oils to fry them. You're using olive oil to fry. You know what I'm saying? And when you're getting older, the organ that worked before. It's a common sense thing. So then you start to clog them up. So you get to the age of 40, 45, 50, start to get trouble in your heart. Because of all the fries you've been eating during the day. So try to eat foods that give you good nourishment. And don't cook your foods too much. You all cook too much. You all cook food, eat all the dead atoms. You all cook the food too much.
What if you work at night?
If you work at night, would you eat at night?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. Well, you could eat at night, but it's what you're eating, so you have to eat more liquid, because at night when you're supposed to be resting in the first place. And that's why when you work at night, when you do the graveyard shift, after a long period of time, your sleep can't come back at night again, because you change that clock. The pineal gland don't work as well. So nighttime is more, if you're doing a strenuous job, you can have something that will make you burn it up. But nighttime is more fluids again, liquids. Try not to eat too much food at night, because the body is starting to regenerate. You know what I mean? So liquid foods, like soups, peas, you know what I mean? Not no such a big beef and stuff, because you won't get sick long term. That's the key, man. That's the key in staying well, is how you eat. Because we are digging our grave with our teeth every day. And food's supposed to be for your medicine. But you're using the foods and you're eating some of dead atoms because you're putting your food on the fire for so long. And when a man passes smell, he says, well, that pot smells good. The pot smells good, yes. But are you getting nutrients from the pot that you're cooking on the fire? You're getting a nutrient. So if you don't get nutrients from your foods, how are you going to feed your cells and your tissues and the glands down here, the thymus gland, which need vitamin C, B6 and zinc? If you don't eat the food that have them, your thymus gland can never produce thymosin. It's going to shrink prematurely, and then you will never be able to fight off cancers and viruses, because now your T lymphocytes, which is produced right here in the thymus gland, can never protect you, because they make it shrink prematurely, because you're eating the wrong foods, eating dead atoms. So you have to eat food that is live, that will feed the thymus, nuts and seeds and fruits with vitamin C to feed him. And once you feed him, he's the master gland of the immune system, because he protects you by producing thymosin that kills what? Viruses, cancer cells, yeast, parasites, and fungi. And that's the reason why we say that cancer is an immune disease, because cancer develops when your immune system is not in power, is not at peak, because you're eating dead atoms. So your lymphatic system is messed up. Your bone marrow is messed up. Your spleen is messed up. And your thymus gland is messed up. And your digestive system is in disarray. So if you don't have good digestion in the earth, in the colon, in the small intestines, in the stomach, if you don't digest your foods well in the earth, you're going to get some form of disease long term. And that is what we teach. We teach prevention.
One more thing.
Yes.
You could tell them about the dangers of the different oils that they used to fry with.
Soybean oil.
And the best oil.
Bad to fry with. Olive oil. Bad to fry with. Corn oil is the worst. Vegetable oil, ooh, that's even more dangerous. Because these oils cannot take heat. They dive at 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So all these big cooks you see on television cooking all this stuff in oil, they're crazy. They're killing you all faster. Coconut oil, when you put it in heat, and the heat is at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, it stays like that. See? So if you're going to fry, stir fry with coconut oil. But once you put olive oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, all them other oils, canola oil, all them, they dive. When they become heated, they die. And when they die, they become rancid. And when they become rancid, what do they create? They create free radicals. And once you have free radicals running around your system, because the body produces them now, once you have them in abundance, running around in your system, they will do what? They will steal your electron and cause them to become impaired. And once you don't have good balance in the electron transport system, you will get cancer long term, because the free radicals is stealing them because too much fried foods in your diet and you're using the wrong oils. And we have to train and teach our people, and that is why the seminar we're going to have in Grenada is so significant, because when you leave, you will know how to take care of yourself, and you will teach someone else when you get back to your homeland. That is the purpose of the seminar, to teach you how to eat and how to prevent a disease, not to get it and run by a doctor, but to prevent it by doing what? Cleaning the body on a regular basis, and not giving these guys time to come in and harm you. So you will have to use herbs that God put on this earth for us to use to tonify your organs and strengthen them. And when they tonify your organs, and the organs are strong, ain't no sickness could come in. Because when they come in, that organ is so strong, he will lick them out. Because that is why God created the body, to heal itself and to kill anything that comes into the system. That's what it is. That's what makes him so great. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. Blessed love. Bless you.
Okay.
Give him all the glory.
One more question.
Again.
I see it come up a few times, so you might as well just answer this one question. Apple cider vinegar. A lot of people want to know if it is good to use.
Well, I don't use it to get rid of, if it's with the mother. All right. Some people swear by apple cider vinegar. Some people don't. I don't fight on things unless I use it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really use apple cider vinegar unless I'm doing a person who have hemorrhoids, and they want to get rid of the hemorrhoids in the bottom and it's hanging out. We use apple cider vinegar in a cotton ball to squeeze it on the hemorrhoid, and it drops off, because apple cider vinegar have acetic acid. See? And acid does a lot of negative things. So, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with the mother now. With the mother. Not with all the mother. That's the one. The mother is a cobweb in the apple cider vinegar. You will see back with the mother. I think Bragg's have the best one around. But there are a few others that is there. But people can use it because it helps with high blood pressure, it helps with losing weight. But each is their own. All I'm saying is, do not use things. Always use things in moderation. In moderation. And then take time off and clean your system up. That's what I promote. So I won't say don't use it, because apple cider vinegar have lots of benefits. Yeah? Especially with the mother. Yeah? Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Don't forget. And at the end of the day, show the love to your brother and sister, because the Bible says that we must love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And the first commandment is to love thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy mind. And if you love your neighbor, just said, you'll never rob him, you'll never steal from him, you'll never kill him. And never do nothing that will harm your neighbor. And you can never bear false witness against your neighbor if you love your neighbor. That's the key to a better world. Blessed love. Give God the glory. All right.